Greetings.
Hello.
Welcome back to Morbid Monday, your unhinged source for what the fuck moments throughout history, where we will take turns giving you a weekly tour of all of the gross, gory, and downright odd moments in history. We are your hosts, the irritable bowel syndrome, Brian.
We've got to start warning each other about these beforehand. And I'm the cursed diary that you found in your attic, Katy.
Oh man, right? Because we did the Hinterkaifeck thing.
Yes.
So I was at work, and a bunch of Maddox came in.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
So that picture is like, it has no point of reference. They're full-sized pickaxes.
Yeah, they're not
I
like
thought
little.
they were-
Oh, you thought it was a little trowel?
Yeah, I thought
No.
it was like a little rock hammer.
Nah,
I
bruh.
was like, what the fuck? Anyways,
That's a full-on like mining pickaxe.
yeah. So today, let me start off with the promise, not the Neverland, just the promise.
Oh, trigger warnings.
Trigger warnings.
Trigger
Yes.
warnings.
So trigger warnings today are, as we are doing a thing on tank dogs today. That's going to be our subject, and we'll get into what that is in a second. But it is animal cruelty and war are the main subjects of this one. Not going to get super graphic, but that is the subject matter of today. So if you are super cool with if you're a does the dog die kind of person on the internet, this one's probably not for you, because the dog doesn't actually always die.
Canaries in the coal mine?
Yeah, kind of.
Jesus.
All right. So
history's got a long fucking history of animal abuse, bruh.
it does. As a matter of fact, I just ran into my first bit of animal abuse, human animal abuse. I need to rearrange myself to be able to read a screen and have a mic in my face at the same time.
Oh, that's right. You've scripted yours today.
I have kind of.
Oh my god, you're so organized. I'm still not. Alas.
So I do have, I'll reread my trigger warnings because it's on my thing, but war and mostly attempted animal cruelty, but also animal cruelty. I'll explain most of that as we go, but just so you know, we're talking about the Soviet Union today. The only thing that they did well was drink vodka, kill Germans, but mostly also just kill other Russians. So, no, they did basically win World War II outside of the Allied campaign from the other front. Like, without them, we would have probably still won, but we would have, and I say that like logistically, but we would have fared much worse, and America would have lost millions more. So let's start the episode.
I'm concerned. Tank dogs.
Tank dogs.
So when you were picking me up today, you mentioned various I guess animal experiments within combat, and you mentioned one that I happen to know about, which was the bat experiment.
The bat bombs. That's right. Yeah, America's attempt at what they called extra damage, which was the attacking of civilians, but that's all warfare in World War II. Everybody was just literally launching rockets at each other.
Everybody was cannon fodder.
Yeah,
it
was total war, as they call
Yikes.
it. Yeah, and yeah, they had a bomb that would land, and the idea was that a bunch of incendiary bombs would be strapped to bats.
It's giving Olga of Kiev.
Yes, that was the idea.
Yeah,
that they would fly into belfries and the wooden thatched roofs of Japanese, specifically like Tokyo buildings, and set the whole place ablaze. Turns out bombs just by themselves do that way better. So they had cluster bombs that would launch like firework incendiaries that were much better at that. Bat bombs do not work, as it's very cold in the upper stratosphere. And then also, bats have a tendency not to be able to fly super well as they're falling through the sky at like maximum velocity.
Yeah, and also like weighted down.
Yeah, right. They're not hollow boned things, so they do have quite a bit more muscle, but also like, yeah, they're not. It's not exactly light.
Yeah, I'm not.
Tiny little creatures with massive wings. You can't put like weights on them.
No, and they were using like the little bats, not like the big old like flying fox fruit bats.
No, yeah, they were just like tiny little like Mexican foxtail bats.
So I presume that this is going to fall somewhat in line with that.
Let's get into it. So animals have been used by humankind pretty much as long as we've been around.
As soon as we started domesticating things, yes.
Yep. Oh, and even before that, actually, because the first dogs were probably not domesticated, but literally just symbiotic hunters. First use of dogs as companions and symbiotic hunting partners is believed to have started around 14,000 years ago. The Ice Age is thought to have ended between 11 and 12,000 years ago. That's according to Britannica. The last glacial maximum being about 29 to 19,000, depending on where you are in the planet. And that was when 8% of the world was covered in ice. And that's probably what caused us to start working together, is there's no fucking food.
Yeah.
So, like, humans can bring down big things, and dogs can help them do that. So,
and humans are, God, there's an actual word for it, but like basically we can outlast anything we hunt.
Yeah, we are pursuit predators.
That's it.
As
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
we just
could not
jog
brain.
slowly behind you until you just can't run anymore. And humans can run for days on end. Yeah.
As seen by the marathon.
Yeah, and that's why most of our teeth are flat. We are opportunistic predators. And being that, like, we eat things we can catch, but we're not really built for catching anything. Like, the only thing that we can bite into well is plants and fish. We are very adapted for living on the shoreline. And so, like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we got the breakthrough scales teeth, not the we don't have we don't have houndstooth, like, so we're not biting through any thick hides anytime soon. But human beings have since domesticated dogs and a wide range of other animals, including sheep, oxen, and horse. Shout out to horses. Told you I was going to do it every time. Of course.
Well done.
Of course, many of these animals were used as food or labor, but ultimately, human beings adapted ways to use our furry friends to do what we do best: kill each other. The horse.
You're right.
We're very good at it. I think Leonardo da Vinci called it like the grand machine. Is that like it's the greatest thing that we really do? It's the most involved thing.
Literally.
Yeah, because like some people say, well, what about our economic structures? John Locke and Smith literally called this the invisible hand. It kind of works by itself. It's not really something we do, but war logistics is something we do. We actively do it and think about it all the time. Everybody does and always has. The horse probably started being used in warfare between 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. Chariots, 2,000. Elephants were probably first used in war in India around 1500 to 600 BCE. And Hannibal Barca crossed the Alps to fight his Roman opponents, not with dogs, oddly, with that kind of name, but with elephants. In 2,000, 218 BC, that was against Carthage. Very famous battle in which he lost, ultimately. But this takes us back to dogs. The summary from Wikipedia: dogs have a very long history in warfare, beginning in ancient times, from being trained in combat to their use as scouts, sentries, messengers, mercy dogs, and trackers. Their uses have been varied, and some continue to exist into the modern military usage. This is from a person named E. Forster, who wrote a book called Dogs in Ancient Warfare. Amongst the Greeks and Romans, dogs served most as sentries or patrols. They were sometimes taken into battle. The earliest use of war dogs in battle recorded in classical sources, I'm going to butcher this, came from Alyattes, I think is how you say this, of Lydia against not the Cimmerians, the Cimmerians, with a C, Cimmerians, Cimmerians, maybe, around, because I'm not familiar with this, actually. Shame on me. Around 600 BC, the Lydian dogs killed some invaders and routed others. So this is like the first attack dogs. The Battle of Pelusium in 525 BC, Cambyses II deployed dogs, cats, and other animals held sacred by the Egyptians by putting these animals on the front lines. He was supposedly able to get the Egyptians to cease using their projectile weaponry because these were holy animals to the Egyptians. I think that's bullshit. I read that and I was like, there's no fucking way.
Like, they just got some moot scruffing two cats as I punch the microphone. Jesus. You think at this point I'd be better at this.
You know,
I'm still
I
not.
do it. I just hit it with my nose just a second ago.
The gentlest of boops.
A boop for you, sir. This highlights how used in war is not always what you think. So let's look at a brief history of the bestest boys ever used in warfare or just around.
Also, one of the best homebrew D&D summons that we have ever had in one of our campaigns was the bestest boy. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
It was the first campaign that M ran for us. It was the original campaign.
Yeah.
And we got a little I'm completely wildly off topic. I apologize.
No.
ADHD is ADHDing so hard today. Please continue. The bestest boys.
I think was it a magical dog?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. It was not off topic. It was dogs. And our subject is dog.
I caught it though.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty good. I saw it. You were like, and it came up slow too. You were just like, I can see grit in your eyes.
Focus.
It was like the really slow Kamehameha.
I spent 4 hours reading Star Wars fanfiction today. Apparently, I spent my entire attention span on Darth Maul.
Oh my god. All right, mid-century. She's dying over here. Mid-7th century BC, the war waged against the Ephesians against Magnesia of Gander.
These names are fabulous.
Fuck, dude, why did I even write this down? Their horsemen were each accompanied by a war dog. That's why I wrote it down. And a spear-bearing attendant. Dogs were released first and broke the enemy ranks, followed by an assault of spears, then a cavalry charge. That's pretty smart because most cavalry charges, when they fail, they have to bank one side real quick. So they're using them to shock the line first because they can run under the spears. Or get killed on the way in.
Well, I mean, if they're anything like cow dogs.
Yeah, they're kind of agile, most likely.
Agile.
Yeah. The epitaph records the burial of Magnesian horseman named Hippaimon.
Oh.
Yeah, which is funny because that's hippo. Hippo is horse. So, like, yeah, okay. So, horseman named Horseman with his...
Yo, dog.
With his dog, Lethargos.
Wow.
I hope it's a basset hound. It's not, but I hope that's so funny to me. And his horse and his spearmen. 1500s, a little more modern. Mastiffs and other large breeds were used extensively by Spanish conquistadors against Native Americans. That is very true.
I knew that.
They got that from the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
Probably there's a very famous Roman war dog. It's said that many Mastiffs are the descendants of. It's a very specific breed of dog. But 1914 to 1918 were used by international forces to deliver messages. A Sergeant Stubby, a bull terrier, and the most decorated war dog of World War I, and the only dog to be nominated for rank and then promoted to sergeant through combat. He is said to have captured a German spy. He also became the mascot at Georgetown University. That is the Ugga dog. Although the original Ugga dog did not.
Stubby.
Way cuter than
I
bulldog.
love it. Also further showing that humans will pack bond with anything.
Fucking yes.
Anything.
Especially anything that is lovable as a bull terrier mutt. Because
oh my god, I know.
It does not look like the UGA dog. That I've seen a picture of Sergeant Stubby. He's way cuter.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay,
We'll hold it because we're going to save this for the end as a reward for the shit we're about to read.
Okay, no, that's valid.
See?
Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll go into detail into Sergeant Stubby because he's very interesting.
Because being promoted by combat, let's go.
Yeah, and for real, not even as a joke. Yeah.
Talk about the bestest boy.
Yeah, for real. And that brings us to 1924.
Hey.
A little ways before World War II, during the expansion of the early Soviet Union, in 1924, the use of dogs was approved for warfare activities such as scouting for mines, tracking people, and transporting food and injured personnel on sleds in the mud and snow of Mother Russia.
Oof.
A great number of dogs have been trained for these roles because dogs are really fucking good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Like moving through Siberia.
There's a reason that St. Bernards are kind of like iconic as rescue dogs.
Right. They're strong. They're literally strong enough to pull you around. And that's the mercy dog thing. The mercy
on
dog.
top of Fluffy.
Yeah. We talked briefly about mercy dogs earlier, and that's more or less. There's two kind of meanings for that. Mostly, it's they're medics. They have pouches on them that have like bandages and wine and stuff like that, and they would run around.
First aid pups.
First aid pups. By the 1930s, a specialized school was founded in the Moscow region. I think they're called oblets, but the not Moscow the city, but the area of Moscow for military service for the best dogs.
Dogs.
12 regional schools were opened soon after, 3 of which trained anti-tank dogs.
I hate the way that sounds already.
So the idea was hatched. Dogs are fast, low to the ground, and smart. Like you just mentioned about cattle dogs, right? They dodge things very easily. And that is how they were evolved. When they chase large herd animals, the animals often kick at them. So they have to be like quick and agile, and they're smart. They run around objects easily.
Bro, if any of you have never seen a herding dog or a cattle dog specifically run about in a field and take charge of these thousands of pounds of animal, and this is like a 30-pound little dog, Google it.
By just harassing the shit out of them.
Yeah, like literally they just zip around the entire field, like, and just herd them exactly where they're supposed to go. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. They're great. You just don't. They make terrible jogging partners.
Oh my god.
My god, because they do bite you in the ankle when you. So
low to the ground.
Dogs
quick.
fast, low to the ground, smart.
Yeah. I hate this.
Yeah.
Because is this going where I think it's going?
Maybe. What if a dog could be trained to throw grenades?
Yep. It's going exactly where I thought.
More specifically, anti-tank mines, and then return unharmed. So here's how it would work. The dog is fitted with a backpack that contains small explosives. I say small, but very powerful explosives. The dog runs up to the enemy tank, pulls a cord off of its side that drops the mine. That's also a timer fuse. So it drops it and then just runs. But it's trained to dive under the tank, pull this cord, and then get out. Get back to its handler. A timer on the mine would give the dog a chance to get away, and like a long chance, because tanks don't move particularly fast in this era, right? They do, the German ones do, but not when you're moving through like an urban area.
And we've all seen that sad little military parade.
Yeah, they when they're going over concrete and like trying to turn and stuff, they're not. The M1 Abrams is awesome and is very, very fast in an open field, but these are not those.
No.
So like these are nowhere near as powerful in the engine. For some reason I wrote tank dog profits. I thought that was funny at like 3 a.m. You okay there, Catherine?
No.
What's worse than a rapist?
A child.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh. So remote detonation was possible if the trainer had a short distance remote, but that shit was way too new and therefore very expensive. Remote detonation by wire was definitely possible. It's been used for like, I don't know, maybe 100 years by this point.
Yeah, but like spooling out that much wire.
And yeah, you'd have to be way too close, and you would almost certainly be killed. Also, it renders the dog fucking meaningless.
Yeah.
If you can run wire that far, you can throw it. It's not, the whole advantage of the dog is now gone. The Soviet trainers ran into a serious roadblock. Dogs are, in fact, Katy, dogs.
Yeah.
A complex task like this would be very tricky in any training scenario, never mind life or death environment. The dogs constantly failed at any version of these tasks, and often would just run back. But wait, you say, didn't they have anti-tank guns, mines, grenades? So definitely they had the mines, right? That's what's strapped to the dog. And yes, according to War History Online, which is a pretty cool website, so shout out to them. World War II is like this thing. It's like Rome and World War II.
Dude,
there are so many experts on these two things. This is something that like men idolize, and therefore there are whole degree systems about it. In 1941,
podcast bros.
Yeah, I'm quickly becoming one.
Really not though.
Yeah, no, we're not.
We're very, very open to being wrong and like
extremely because
and receptive to being correct.
Oh, that one got you. Damn, right in the nose.
I was trying to get the koozie off my cup and I smacked myself in the nose. Ow!
And that's why we cannot be podcast bros. We're not cool like that.
I am perfectly willing to embarrass myself on the internet.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. 1941. No. Yes, there we go. In 1941, the Soviet Union did try to counter this with the introduce of the new PTRS-41 Simonov anti-tank rifle. I knew it was Simonov, but I didn't know the designation before this. Anti-tank rifle, which penetrate 40 millimeters of armor at 300 feet. That's fucking incredible.
God damn.
Yeah, there's no like worn body armor that's gonna stop.
No.
Shit, right? This is the World War II equivalent of the Gator.
Yeah.
For those, yeah, right. Like this thing's fucking up tanks, right?
Yeah.
That's about 91.5 millimeters. Sorry, that's the distance for those non-freedom units listeners.
Yeah.
300 feet or about 91.5 meters. But at the same time, the Germans introduced their Panzer IV.
I don't know what that is.
Panzer just means tank.
Ah.
And so, yeah, good. You can always count on the Germans to be very direct. What's your tank's name? The tank. Tank Mark IV. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You just went very like newscaster with that.
Tank
like you,
Mark IV.
Like you sat up and you did the.
This is
Yes.
This is rustic Victorian potato here from Minneapolis.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
That was funny. Anyway, so the tank.
Yeah, or the OSFE medium tank, which had frontal armor of 50 millimeters. Meaning that gun is not going to pierce it if it's pointing at you. And here's the thing about tanks. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, super thick, heat-treated,
God damn.
tempered steel, 50 millimeters of steel. It's not getting through, right?
You know, and the only reason that I have any kind of concept of millimeter right now is because I just finished sewing some shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, 100 of your needles.
Yeah.
yeah. Like something like that. Yeah. So tanks by themselves at the time were not very effective. So what you would do is that you would follow them in with infantry. The chances of you getting to the side or to the back, unless you have ambushed them, are pretty small. People figured out real quick that people have like mines and grenades.
Wait, so you're telling me Indiana Jones lied?
What?
The tanks in Indiana Jones? The tank scene, I think it's the is it the first one? Is it the Ark of the Covenant one? Where they're going down a canyon and they have a tank.
Yeah.
And there's a whole like fight sequence. We'll watch it later.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. It's been so long since I've seen
Really?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
They're like Indiana Jones and Star Wars are kind of like my comfort movies, and then like weirdly in there is the Chronicles of Riddick and Pitch Black. Anyway, stop it.
Why does he talk like this? That's not.
He needs a cough drop through the whole movie.
And I can't, I cannot, after watching so many Fast and the Furious movies, I can no longer watch Riddick without just hearing in that voice, family, like that. Just that weird, like, I can't do his voice at all, but like, his super deep.
I enjoy Vin Diesel. I think
he knows exactly what he's there to do, and I respect the shit out of that. You know what I mean? Like guys who know, like Nick Cage knows he's Nick Cage, and he doesn't try to not be Nick Cage. I love that shit, and he's actually a very good actor when he wants to be. It's just like he wants to be Nick Cage.
No, bro,
like,
he's here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
I'm
50
sorry.
millimeters of armor. It's not getting through, right? This meant the tank could only be attacked at fairly short range or from the side or rear, which, as we just discussed, very difficult to do when you're a guy with a big-ass rifle. And here's the other problem. The Simonov was not without its issues. It was difficult to use, unreliable, clumsy to operate. Oh, and by the way, it weighs 46 pounds.
Okay, so
that's the rifle. That's not all the extra ammunition.
So you're not you are stationary with this weapon.
It's a big stovepipe that you launch like shells through.
You're not mobile at all.
No, 21 kilograms.
And you don't have the range to snipe either. So you got to be like,
fuck no,
right up on it.
This is the thing that you while your way through a trench. And
I say with all of the certainty of someone that's played Halo.
Well. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. It's like if your sniper rifle had dick for fucking range and you had to get really close to use it. For point of reference, because Katy's in the room with me, I have a 50-pound free weight.
Yeah, I'm not picking that up.
That's how much that rifle weighs. Yeah, I'm not running with that thing, and I work out with them all the time. And so like fuck that. And you have all your other shit.
On
because
top
it's
of the
winter in
ammunition,
Russia.
too. So, like, this
Yeah.
is impractical. Just
Yeah,
point blank, period.
You are the worst case scenario of basic training, where they have like a 90-pound backpack on.
My God.
That's what you're doing, because you're running with
Slogging
all
through
of your
cold
stuff.
mud.
Yeah. Shit, dude, it's terrible. And that's without modern equipment. Like, these guys are literally wearing great coats, covered in
I
fucking
just
bags.
finished my energy drink. I'm going to be intolerable in about 10 minutes.
Damn. She is a Simonov. No, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I'm disruptive.
They were also near enough. There were also never enough of them to go around.
I would imagine not, because like
They were hard to make.
Yeah,
and like they broke all the time, so you had to make
that
them
tracks.
all the time. Yeah, like because they were Russian.
Well, okay, I didn't mean it like that.
Well, the Soviet Union idea was make something that's good and fast, right? So their tanks were not great tanks. They could, however, make a ton of them. The early MiG, not a great plane. Doesn't matter when there's 10 of them in the sky for every one of the people you're fighting, right? So for every Messerschmitt that's in the sky, it's an excellent fucking thing. Or not the first gen MEs, but like the good Messerschmitts. Yeah, you've got fucking 10 of these. It doesn't matter. So the idea of using anti-tank dogs is nothing new to the Soviet Union. They had looked at the possibility back in the early 30s and gave the weapon the name dog mines or Hundeminen, because these are what we will later call East Germans, right? We are Soviet Union is encroaching into it's a hard fucking fight, but a lot of the people who the Nazis are encroaching onto are running into their territories. So there's a lot of German-speaking people in Russia at this time. Something that they always get wrong in a lot of movies.
And Russia is huge.
It's massive, and they have a massive front. So, and a lot of the fighting, a lot of the Russian soldiers that are on the front lines should be speaking German in a lot of these movies. So, like, that's the thing.
Like, come on, the Russian accent though.
Yeah, you gotta have. Well, it's because they always show like Stalingrad, right? It's all Russian guys there, right? So, but
just run away.
The Red Army had to find a better way. There's got to be a better way. And by better, I mean simpler and way more fucked up. So here's what they came up with. First, train the dog like before. It will dive under the tank like it has already been trained to do, but instead of biting a timer and releasing a little from a little cord, a wooden switch, the kind that looks like an on-off switch on your wall, protruding from the back of the dog. As the dog hides under the tank, the wood switch will ignite the mine and it will explode.
I hate this.
And they're suicide dogs.
They're monsters. Why would you do that?
Pretty fucked up. But quick history aside, just so you know how bad humans are.
Humans are terrible.
So this is not even the first, even remote time that humans have used animals to blow shit up. Back in the old medieval castle days, called a sapper's fire. If you are besieging a castle, you might dig a little mine underneath the castle, fill it full of pigs, close that mine off, and then set a fire. And the boiling pig fat, because the reason why you keep them alive is because it's difficult to move that many hogs.
Yeah.
So you just kind of run them into the hole and then seal it off. Their fat burns hot enough to where it will start cracking the stone of the castle above it, and you might be able to collapse the wall.
Jesus.
If you don't have a giant trebuchet, that's one way of bringing down a curtain. We used...
humans are terrible.
Yeah, there's explosives on horses or burning cattle was a thing. They just set them on fire and let them run into the enemy lines because they would rampage. Because once they get close enough, it doesn't really matter what you do. So I'm going to read from a Wikipedia article. Each dog was fitted with a 10 to 12 kilogram or 22 to 26 pound mine, carried in two canvas pouches, adjusted individually to each dog. The mine had a safety pin, which was removed right before the deployment. Each mine carried no markings as it was not supposed to be disarmed. A wooden lever extended out of the pouch about 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches. Yeah, I think that knife is right at 8 inches.
It's 5.
That is not. There's no fucking way that's a 5-inch knife. What does it matter? Why are we measuring stuff over here? That's what she said. Anyways, What the fuck was I doing, Katie?
We the wooden switch.
Yeah,
that
there we
was
go.
we got hung up on the size of the wooden switch
Yep,
because
they
it's
all do. When the dog dived into the tank, the lever would strike the bottom of the tank, detonating the charge. Because the underparts of the chassis were most vulnerable to these on these vehicles, no armor, it was hoped that the explosive would disable the vehicle. And all you actually have to do, and they're going to learn this later, is you just have to knock the treads off the tank. And then it's still a turret gun, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And in a highly mobile war, it's cooked. Right? Somebody just runs up and puts a mine on it.
Well,
runs
that
away.
and you can brass bull the people in it.
Yeah.
If you've immobilized.
If you have a literal Molotov cocktail,
Mhm.
which is like that's a whole right. So, Jesus Christ.
Humans are terrible.
Yeah, pretty bad.
How was anybody okay with that? Because like they would have had to like not only train but like house and live with these animals, and then you're just gonna
So
blow
in
them up.
this time period, by the end of the war, about 20 million Russians are going to be dead. Everybody is they're desensitized, Katie. After Operation Barbarossa starts, it's hell on earth for the Soviet Union.
I mean, yeah, but like once again, humans will pack bond with anything.
So
like,
they definitely
chipped teacups
they definitely did.
in a thrift store.
We're gonna get into that a little bit because people had opinions about it.
Okay, thank God.
All right. Here we
You
go.
just channeled me for a second.
Yeah. How do you even train a dog to do this? So we talked just a little bit earlier about how they were initially trained to pull a little cord and stuff. The dogs were trained by keeping them hungry, and their food was placed under tanks. Not live tank. This is during training. So they're all in a yard. A Russian tank has been painted up to look like a German tank.
Mm-hmm.
The tanks were at first left standing still. Then their engines were running, which was further combined with sporadic blank shot gunfire and other battlefield-related distractions, because this was a problem before. They would get confused
Yeah.
by all the
you just
moving
have a frightened
parts.
dog.
Yeah, like a literal frightened dog. Right. They don't do well in this, and they use German Shepherds, which are a little bit jumpy to begin with, but they do listen well.
Yeah,
They're
I was
very
gonna say
trainable.
they're so smart.
This routine aimed to teach the dogs to run under the tanks in battlefield situations. Obviously, right? You're moving them up in degrees, but they have to be trained relatively fast. This also doubles as other things. So one of the things that they're learning to do is just is to follow a person and then go jump into someplace when they like
Point.
right? So they're trained on tanks, but this is later going to be piggybacked pretty well into just like medic dogs, which is what most trained dogs are going for. Is sled teams, medics, messenger dogs.
They're spending a lot of time and money on dogs that they're gonna blow up.
Yeah, yeah.
I got no nice way to say that.
No,
like
they're gonna this but people do this to other people all the time. So
yeah.
So now I would like to read paraphrasing from Russian Army website that was ran originally by Yuri Grigorovich Viramiv, who passed away. This is an in memoriam website. He passed away on July 30th, 2018. He was a Russian officer. I don't think during this period, but he wrote a website that was very categoric about the World War II era machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in everything in the Red Army. His photos up on the front of the page with his like red sides and his medals and all that kind of stuff. It was really neat. It was all in Cyrillic, so very, very difficult to parse out and read.
I'm gonna say you had to run that through Google Translate twice, didn't you?
And then figure it out, because Russian people who've never like looked at translated Russian might not know this. It's a very poetic language, and like yeah, it like speaks in poetry, and you have to kind of riddle that out a little bit. And so
Mandarin does that a lot too.
Yeah, there's words, there's like phrases for a lot of stuff that are not really what they mean. And then also, one of the passages said like, in the question of getting mines onto tanks, the riflemen decided. And what he meant by that was they developed like rockets, right? Gunmen started carrying things that could affect tanks, not the dogs, right? So the whole thing is kind of like almost satirical in its writing, but I just wanted to mention that real quick because the man passed away, and he did, when you look at the Wikipedia, I like to click on the sources and go directly to the source. A lot of the source is this man's website.
Hey.
He had a massive source list on the end of his website of like, here's everything I've sourced from and read.
Love it when sources do that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. This is from his article, his compiled article. In fact, Wikipedia copied directly from his website for this. The first group of anti-tank dogs arrived on the front line at the end of summer of 1941 and included 30 dogs and 40 trainers. Their development revealed some serious problems. In order to save fuel and ammunition, dogs had been trained on tanks which stood still and did not fire their guns. In the field, the dogs refused to dive under moving tanks. Some persistent dogs would run near the rear of the tanks. Now, we talked about the armor is thinner there, so sometimes maybe that would work. Waiting for them to stop, but were shot in the process. Gunfire from tanks scared away many of the dogs. They would run back to the trenches, often detonating the charge upon jumping in, killing Soviet soldiers. To prevent this, returning dogs had to be shot, often by their controllers. This made the trainers unwilling to work with new dogs. Some went so far as to say, the army did not stop with sacrificing people to the war and went on to slaughter dogs too. Like you said, like how could they do this?
Yeah.
Right? Now they felt some kind of way about it.
Good.
A lot of people really didn't like being in this part.
That's fucking awful.
But we're in the Soviet Union, and this is now Stalin's Union, which means we are thoroughly out of anything resembling Marxism. Right? Those who openly criticized the program were persecuted by special departments, commissars, military counterintelligence. Of the first group of 30 dogs, only 4 managed to detonate their bombs near German tanks, inflicting unknown amount of damage. 6 exploded upon returning to the Soviet trenches. So they've killed more Soviets than they've injured tanks at this point. Killing and injuring soldiers, 3 dogs were shot by German troops and taken away without attempts by the Soviets to prevent this, which means they've now seen the triggering device.
Oh no. So much for that plan.
Right, which provided examples of detonation mechanisms to the Germans. A captured German officer later reported they learned of anti-tank dog design from dead animals and considered the program desperate and inefficient. A German, which is a great fucking slander by a German.
Yeah.
You're inefficient.
Wow.
You know, like, that's
Dude,
so good.
that's like looking someone dead in the eye and saying, you look like you drop common loot. Got him, coach!
Damn. Oh, shit. Just R. No S. No SS. Just R. Rated.
Lay down, you're not even ranked.
Oh, man. A German propaganda campaign sought to discredit the Red Army, saying that Soviet soldiers refused to fight and send dogs instead. So this has backfired like all the way through.
Yeah, this is gnarly.
So
like on all accounts.
Yeah, like we stated earlier, there were multiple schools. This was just the first wave. Most estimates of the dog's effectiveness are total commie propaganda. Like,
Oof.
according to the official documents, there's like 300 tanks damaged
so
in
they
one go.
Straight up lied.
Yeah, because nowhere near that.
Oh my god.
Most outings that most accounts that we have, they were used in battles and they were effective, but it's usually like 12 or less tanks. And so you can probably add up all the individual accounts, and it's maybe 100. I doubt it's 75. Because most of the things that I read were like, the high numbers were 15.
Oh my god.
Most of it was like 5 dogs, 4 tanks. They're not all making it there. Sometimes the Germans just shoot them. Now, the top machine guns on the tanks aren't really able to hit them, and so they start using other tactics. So like a guy, the infantry that's following behind them will just shoot them. Or they have some tanks have this little like pillbox out in front. That's what they're aiming through. However, there are several accounts of success. I'm like reading real stuff.
That is a pregnant pause right there.
Success?
If you can call it that.
Now let's talk about how dumb armies can be.
Oh no.
So, another serious training mistake was revealed later. The Soviets used their own diesel engine tanks to train the dogs rather than the German tanks, which ran exclusively on gasoline.
They were quieter.
And they smell different.
Yeah.
As the dumb shit. As the dogs, oh my god, as the dogs relied on their acute sense of smell, the dogs sought out familiar Soviet tanks instead of strange smelling German ones.
Oh my god.
That's right. Not only do they run back into the trench and kill your guys, sometimes they just run under your tanks.
Oh my god. So this is just a bad idea all the way around.
It's a bad idea because what do dogs do when they see people like they know? They run right next to them.
Yes. They run to them.
Yeah.
Yes, hello. You are my people now.
This is a segment that I will just refer to as America.
Do you know I've only ever seen that movie once?
Oh man. It's more quotable than it is good, but it is very fucking quotable.
Just puppets.
At one point in the movie, I don't know if you remember this, they literally just start going like
yes!
They just start flopping around randomly. I love that. They just kept that in.
Okay, so America.
Dogs in the secret program were trained at, I think it's just Belvoir. I don't know. I don't know.
Getting bougie up in here.
Yeah. The dogs were called demolition wolves.
Oh, Jesus.
Because of course they were. Come on, man. They were
Why are
either
we like this?
I don't know. Everything's got to be. It's if we put bombs on cats, dude, 100%, they would be like thunder tigers. You know what I mean? They would. If we strapped a firecracker to a titmouse, we'd be like birds of freedom. You know, like anything.
Oh my god!
It doesn't matter. We're just like this all the time. I probably blew that mic out so bad just now.
This is the same country that actually had Jedi Knights, okay? So
yeah. Yeah, dude, come on. Space Force.
The Thunder Wolves.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
Demolition Wolves. Now, granted, their name actually made a little bit more sense.
Oh, it's the Demolition Wolves. Okay, there we go.
And
sorry.
So here's why. So we were largely fighting when we think about like the use of anti-destructive force. We had all the fucking tanks in the world. We don't need to do anything about that. We also later created a weapon called the bazooka.
Yep.
So we don't need dogs to bust up tanks. We
Point
got a
this
big
end
gun
towards enemy.
Yeah. Yes, we have a giant grenade on a stick. Yeah, like that's what we have. And later, the Russians are going to steal a couple of things called Panzerfaust, which tank killer.
Oh, okay.
So like and they would copy that and or create it. I've never really looked into who actually made that weapon, but it's tank killer.
Anti-tank firearm.
Yeah, and it's big and cool looking. And if you've ever played in the Medal of Honor games, you have 100% shot a Nazi in the fucking face with one. Anyways. Oh, you're behind a bush, are you? Kaboom!
Not for long.
So the demolition wolves were taught to run into, as we were largely fighting the Japanese and also Germans on the other front, bunkers, into pillboxes and such. They were strapped with explosives. They were not used. This was a exercise because the American Army was very good at testing things, and kind of always has been. They don't often put things into the field with exceptions of like notable exceptions of some of our rifles that used to make this big, like the M1 Garand when it was first introduced. The stripper clip, when it was done, would make a loud ting noise, and so it would literally tell the other enemy when you were out of ammo
and where you were.
Yeah, that's right. Really difficult to get around. Did away with that pretty quick, and
no tings for you.
Yeah, so. But they were taught to run into bunkers, enter it, sit while waiting for a simulated explosion. And the reason why is because even if you shot the dog's still there. Oh. And it's on a timer. So you would set it and it would run in. So that was the idea is it was super fast. It would jump in like a wolf into a cave. So demolition wolves, right? Dynamite. Yeah.
Why are we like this?
Right.
Just a nation of pick-me.
Oh, my God. They decided, so in live fire exercises, because they just put a dud on the dog, right? Like a timer, no explosive. And they tried it. And a lot of the times the dog would run in and the guy in the bunker would start screaming at him and shooting with blanks. And then the dog would go, oh, fuck no, and run out and run.
Right back to their handler.
Right back to their handler.
Yep.
Of course they do, because that's what they do. They're a pack creature. They run back to the pack when they're in danger. So we did away with this idea very quickly.
Thank God.
Yeah, we were like, this is very stupid. Now, we did many other funny things with animals that we'll talk about the next time I do an episode.
Oh, my God.
But mostly funny, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Less, also animal cruelty, but like also They didn't know that necessarily, and also it's so stupid. You're gonna laugh. I want to. So before we close out, and we'll close out on a light note, I do want to point this out, right? So the Russians disbanded this at some point
Oh, good.
because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And with the rise of high production and like mass production in tanks,
No
the
point in friendly
Panzerfaust,
fire.
yeah, there's no point in the friendly fire, right? This is a really bad idea. Often these kind of wacky weapons are just that. They're guys with a hard situation. In our case in America, way too much money and like way too much time. Because we were throwing so much money at shit that like we've all heard of like the Howard Hughes Spruce Goose, right? The giant, what later became a real plane, but it's because he wasn't trying to waste money. He was trying to design something without the use of aluminum, so he designed it out of wood because he was making a concept plane.
Mm-hmm.
We had a ton of money to throw at a lot of wacky shit. Most of it didn't work out. Some of it did. The Russians did not. They were very much up against the wall. For a little while, the world thought the Nazis were not beatable. I mean, before World War II started, there were people in Great Britain, members of the royal family, that tried to create like a peace pact with them because they were like, no, we can actually. I don't know if we can do anything about this guy, like because the German war machine was massive and it grew so fast. They also had things the world had never seen before. They were hitting London with guided rockets. Not in our sense of the term, but they were basically long range artillery
Mm-hmm.
called the V series. They had the world's first jet fighters, the MEs, the
I did
Messerschmitts.
not know that.
Yeah, the first gen blew up all the time. Like they would essentially go too fast and they would get too hot and they would explode. But they created the first jets. We were real worried they were going to beat us to an atom bomb. Like they were gonna beat us to the atom bomb for a little while.
Ugh.
They did not have this capability, but we used to roll these like rolling sea mines into armored docks in Nazi territory where they were producing hydrogen thick water because they were very much trying to create an atom bomb.
That's terrifying.
And many of the scientists that worked on the atom bomb were escaping Germany. They were German scientists.
Yeah, they came over here and we put them to work.
Right. So like, it was not an unfounded fear. And so like I'm saying all this to be like, this is fucking horrible and cruel and I made a lot of jokes, but understanding that the Russians were being driven by an absolutely evil man. Like Joseph Stalin was out of his fucking gourd. And Stalingrad got so bad that a guy that would later run the country of Russia, a guy named Khrushchev, was put in charge of Stalingrad, and he would come up and he would basically give whoever the general over Stalingrad was at the time an option when they started to fail, because Stalingrad was such a bloody mess that a lot of them, they felt like were failing. They couldn't take Stalingrad, or they couldn't expel the Germans. So he would come up to him and he would give an option. He would be like, "Look, if you don't do this, if you cannot fend off the Germans from Stalingrad, they're gonna announce you as a traitor or something and beat you and probably kill you, or you can do the right thing." And by the right thing, he would hand him a pistol.
Take yourself out.
Yeah, it's a horrible tragedy on all fronts. Unfortunately, dogs are very, very good at sniffing out mines because they have incredible noses, and we still use them to find mines today. They're very, very good at it, and thankfully, we are now very good at it. So the dogs don't get killed a lot.
Yeah.
And but that was another thing that was pretty common in these days. And dogs to this day are used in a lot of warfare as guard dogs, mostly for an intimidation presence, but to sniff out explosives, to sniff out drugs, to find like people in a building somewhere.
Mhm.
They can let a dog loose; it can go right to them. It's difficult to hide from one, right? On a lighter note, let's go back to Sergeant Stubby. Now that we've talked about blowing fucking
Yay!
dogs up, I'm going to turn my internet back on, and because I turned it off for all this stuff. No, I don't have to. That's right.
Do you already have it pulled up?
I have no. I clipped it. I clipped out what I wanted to read. Are you ready to hear? Oh, something sad.
No, it's very cute. Anyway, continue.
Are you ready to hear about the bestest of boys?
I am ready to hear about the bestest of boys.
Sergeant Stubby served with the 102nd Infantry Regiment in the trenches of France. This is in World War I for 18 months and participated in 4 offenses and 17 battles. He entered combat on February 5th, 1918 at Chemin des Dames, north of Soissons. Pretty sure I'm saying that right. And was under constant fire day and night for over a month. On April 1918, during a raid to Sechepre, someone who's like Canadian is going to be like, what the fuck is that guy trying to say? Stubby was wounded in the foreleg by retreating Germans who throwing hand grenades. That was a way to get out of a trench. You just threw a bunch of grenades, everybody hit the duck, right? So they hit the deck so you could run.
Yeah.
Right? So he was sent to the rear for convalescence, as they used to call it, and as he had done on the front, improved morale. He recovered from his wounds. Stubby returned to the trenches. In his first year of battle, Stubby was injured by mustard gas. After he recovered, he returned with a specially designed gas mask to protect him.
That's what we should be doing with science. I'm just saying.
Yeah, giving dogs gas masks.
Research and development, let's go.
He thus learned to warn his unit of mustard gas attacks. Locate wounded soldiers in no man's land. And since he could hear the whine of incoming artillery shells before humans became aware of them, he was very adept at alerting his unit to duck for cover.
The bestest boy.
He was solely responsible for capturing a German spy in Argonne, leading to the unit's commander nominating Stubby for the rank of sergeant. Following the retaking, ultimately...
I want you to know that in my head, this dog is voiced by Tommy Lee Jones.
This is my happy face. Following the retaking of Chateau Thierry by the U.S., women of the town made Stubby... All right, how do you say this? Chamois?
Chamois.
Chamois?
Chamois. Chamois.
Chamois? A chamois. A chamois.
You know, you live in Texas when.
Yeah.
Chamois.
Chamois coat upon which his many medals were pinned. He was later injured again in the chest and leg by a grenade.
Oh.
He ultimately had 2 wound stripes. At the end of the war, Robert Conroy and Stubby, that's his handler, returned home in 1918.
Hell yes.
Where he met 3 presidents, because he lived for quite some time.
Period.
He was when he returned home, he met Woodrow Wilson, who was the president at the time, and then 2 other ones. Calvin Coolidge, I think, was his last president. He is also the mascot of the University of Georgia. He's the original Ugga Hound. Not the original, but he's one of the Ugga Hounds.
Oh.
And the thing that article doesn't mention very well is even through the gas mask, he could smell the waft of mustard gas. So in the early morning in France, it's very foggy sometimes. You can't necessarily see the chlorine gas coming towards you, but he could smell it. And so he would start like barking and shit, and they would all
mask up.
They would all mask up.
The bestest of boys. Also, I just looked up a picture of him.
Oh, is that what you were looking up?
He's so cute.
He's a cute dog.
He's a cute little boy. Look at him.
He's got all his medals on his little vest. That's the chamois coats that he's wearing.
He looks so sweet, too. He's got that boxer muzzle.
Yeah, he's like that tongue hanging out.
He's just a good boy.
We don't know. I don't know how he caught the German spy, but I'm assuming that he literally sniffed him out.
Probably. He probably knew the scent of all of his unit.
And then just started
and was
barking
like, "Who the fuck
somebody.
are you?"
Yeah. And then the
wait,
other guy,
Tommy Lee Jones' voice. Who the fuck are you?
And then everybody else said, "Yeah, who the fuck are you?" Yeah, legitimate.
So that's how you bring an animal into war.
Yes.
Jeez.
It turns out they are very good at harm prevention.
Yes.
And they're not so great at blowing themselves up, all like suicide bomber style.
What sick motherfucker thought that up?
You know, desperate times.
I know. But, like, maybe once again, we're probably just the mindset of the product of our generation. Nothing enrages me more than animal cruelty. Like you want to talk about, like, I know that we have touched briefly on our temperaments being very similar in that, like, we have a very long fuse, but once we go, it's nuclear.
Yeah.
You want to talk about white noise rage? Animal cruelty.
It is like the thing that literally caused John Wick to kill like 3,000 people in those movies.
Exactly.
So, like, also, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have a book on arms and, like, not arms, armor production throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
In World War I, one of the things that was fitted for dogs was a kind of bulletproof jacket. Because they were used as messengers.
Once a fucking again.
Yeah.
Proper use of R&D.
Right. And also, when you use a dog as messenger, do you know who else was a messenger, wartime messenger, and was not a dog? He was not, in fact, the bestest of boys. I would say he was the worstest of boys.
Are you hinting at who I think you're hinting at?
Adolf Hitler was a
that's
messenger.
what I thought you were
He
going
was
with
a
that.
wartime messenger. And
Yeah,
a lot
no.
of his...
Who missed that shot?
Yeah, a lot of his friends got fucked up. And he became Adolf Hitler, right? So use dogs for the things that dogs are good at. Because dogs are low to the ground, right? They're low and they're much faster than humans. So, like, when the French were using, like, fucking greyhounds and shit, and, like, they're whipping back and forth and delivering their messages, or pigeons, who are very hard to shoot historically.
Ask anyone in Rome.
Right, unless you have a shotgun and are fairly close. And so, like, I had a ton of stuff that was already kind of in the works that I haven't really done a lot of research on. And then I did this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
then
found,
the
like, 4
wiki
more?
rabbit hole started.
Yep.
And they're all, like, animal-related things around World War II. So my next 2 are going to be World War II.
Okay.
And as a quick preview, one of them has to do with Japanese folklore. So that's a riddle for those. And the other one has to do...
You sly motherfucker, I think I know which one that is.
With dead bodies dropped from planes.
Yep.
Those
Okay.
are two different events. Now.
Yes, I think I am familiar with both of them because I happen to have at one point in our slapdash move back to Texas, I lived with a World War II enthusiast next to.
If you do, you would be the person that would know about this because, like, often I am reading something, like, I've known about tank dogs since I was in, like, high school. And
That's so fucked up.
yeah.
How rude. Don't do that.
But I've never heard of this shit in my fucking life. Either one of these things.
If I am correct, and that is a big if. Because, like, World War II was a fucked period. The world was ending.
Yeah, when you have, like, 300 million human beings doing anything.
Everybody was at war. Like, it was gloves off, let's go.
Yeah.
Which is not good and should be avoided at all costs. But there was some crazy shit in World War II.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, and that's coming from me, the not huge on American history, but, like, I know enough.
So, I think that's about it. That's our Old Yeller episode.
Jesus, literally the Old Yeller episode. But hey, we ended on a great note. Like, the U.S. doing, like, war dogs right.
Yeah.
Sergeant Stubby.
Kinda.
Yeah. I'm choosing to believe.
we have a lot of good dogs in, like America does propaganda pretty good.
I
so,
believe
like,
that.
Yeah, like, our stuff is usually pretty accurate, number one. We don't just, like, make shit. Like, we'll go and find a good story and then, like, post that everywhere instead of trying to, like, invent one.
Oh, this was great. Thank you for traumatizing me with tank dogs.
You know what's super crazy about all that?
But, like, legit, thank you for, like, Sergeant Stubby. Like, that was a gift.
Yeah, Sergeant Stubby's fucking awesome.
That's great. Look up Sergeant Stubby, you guys, please. He's adorable.
He has 2 Purple Hearts. He survived 2 grenade attacks, a gas attack,
and single-handedly caught a spy.
That's right, and probably saved like 50 lives.
Can you imagine? Like I know that we spoke about what Sergeant Stubby looks like. Sergeant Stubby has the boxer snout. It's very square and flat and very cute. This is a dog that is meant for, like, dog smiling.
Yeah.
And, like,
even in the photo, because I know which one you saw, he's like going,
yes,
like that. His full smile, tongue out.
So he's got a big mouth.
Yeah.
Imagine you are a German spy and this big mouth comes at you.
Yeah.
He's
All
a
of
little
like
dog.
15 pounds. He's a bull terrier mix.
He
He's
might
a tiny
be 20
little dog.
pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe. If he's like kitted out, if he's got his little like bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
But just and like once that mouth locks on you, that mouth ain't coming off.
No, it's that.
So
right.
I fully 100% believe that this little 20-pound terrier single-handedly took down a German spy.
Yeah, he
I
just
believe it.
bit him in the ankle.
And just did not let go.
Scheiße!
Oh, no. All right.
Oh,
Okay. We're clearly done because we're just having fun at this point. All right. Thank you guys for joining us on this. Next week will be me. I'm so sorry because you already know it's going to be chaos. Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
I appreciate you. Sergeant Stubby is a hero.
Go pet your dogs.
Yes. Go love on the bestest boys.
Yeah.
And the bestest girls.
There's a war again in Russia, so adopt. Go to we don't want more tank dogs.
No.
Go adopt dogs.
And go to your local shelters. Don't go to a breeder.
Now the good news is dogs I don't think can attack drones very easily, so
Oh yeah, that's true. We have moved on to like drone warfare now.
yeah. Robotic
I
dog.
don't know. A Malinois can get pretty high.
Dude, I would pay fucking money to see a drone get taken out by just a fucking leaping dog. Oof.
You ever seen a Malinois?
Yeah.
They're insane.
God, yeah, that would be fucking awesome. Yeah.
Okay, you're not wrong, but I really don't want them involved.
Air Kiev. Kiev. Sorry, Air Kiev.
Ugh.
Oh, man. Damn. Yeah.
Okay, we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
Bye. Hey, this is Brian from Morbid Mondays. If you like the show, please consider stopping by at our Kofi account. That's ko-fi/Morbid Mondays. It's $1 a month, or just any one-time tip. And if you would like to help us fund our future endeavors or just want to show a little bit of appreciation, awesome. Thank you so much for listening. And if you don't. Whatever. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening.